Hey everyone, it's Jamie here, not live, but I'm at the ACO right now. It's the end of day one. This is a Friday night, I guess. And just a quick update on 1 and 2 right now. I've had 3 games so far. Obviously got 3 more tomorrow. Having a great time, having a lot of fun. 3 very interesting games. I'm sure I'll talk about them later. This isn't a video about that. I actually am going to be talking about the World Eaters rules because as I finished my first game today against T-Sons, I looked at my phone and 50 Discord messages, Facebook messages out the ass. I know I haven't replied to everyone. I apologise for that. I just don't have much time at the moment, bouncing between games and stuff. But really happy, really excited. But obviously it's hard to take stock of it when I'm trying to keep my head in the game, right? But I've had a few minutes to review them. My notes are on the back of a receipt here because I've lost my notebook, as you do at a tournament, right? So I'm going to go over some of them, and I know Dara posted a video earlier, and I have not watched it on purpose because I don't want to just regurgitate what he says, which I could end up doing anyway, but we'll see. So let me just go through this briefly. I'm sure you know most of this stuff anyway, but this is kind of my interpretation of stuff without being too engaged on Discord today. So we're going to start off with the stratagems. I've kind of got some notes on what I see are some changes. Most of them are very small, if anything, but some of them are quite significant. So probably the biggest one that we may not catch, certainly those who don't play competitively might not catch, is Scorn of Sorcery. Now, this originally, as we've been playing it, was not a deny, it was a negate. So you could actually, when there's like a Grey Knight's character, a warlord or something like that, that can make a psychic power that can't be denied, you could Scorn of Sorcery that. Well, the wording has changed now, so it is essentially a deny. I think we need to play it as a deny now. It doesn't specify it, but it uses the language about this being a denied power. I can't reference the actual rule because I'm on my phone right now, obviously. But so it's still a 4-up, so it's still a powerful tool, but it is a deny. So I feel like I'm fairly certain that if someone has access to be undeniable, we can't scorn them now, which is a bit of a debuff, unfortunately. Next one I want to touch on is Red Butchers. Very small change, we can't do it on characters. Kind of sounds bad right now. I know someone in the Discord did make a comment, and I tend to agree that this could imply that we're going to get like a specific Red Butcher's character in our codex, of course. It's unlikely we're going to get anything else in the codex other than data sheet abilities or data sheets that we'll be able to draw from. Maybe a few generic stratagems, but certainly not anything Red Butcher's related. So a little bit of a nerf, but it does imply that maybe in the future we're going to get something better. Kill Main Burn, which is our 6-inch consolidate, took a language change which could or could not be important. It's now add 3 to your consolidate rather than have a 6-inch consolidate. So if you have a 6-inch consolidate, that does imply that that is the most you can consolidate, right? But if you add 3 to it, we effectively get 6, but there may be a generic stratagem out there which you can add 1 to your consolidate. So I'm not saying that's happening, but just the language change implies that we can actually exceed 6 in the future, possibly. I don't know, but it's something. I can't see a reason to change it otherwise. Blood for the Blood God, which is our 2 CP morale pass stratagem once we kill something in the fight phase, got a bit of a nerf. Not that we would use it very often, but it can be clutch sometimes. So right now, until the White Dwarf is legal, right now you pay 2 CP after you kill something in the fight phase. You pass morale tests on everything until the end of the turn, until your next turn, right? So if you're going first and you pop it, you're good in your turn and your opponent's turn. Now it's until the end of your current turn. So that does suck because often you'll suffer morale in your opponent's turn after they shoot half your cultists away or something, right? Of course, you can play this in any fight phase, but you have to kill something. So it is a slight debuff. 2 more I want to talk about. Stoke the Nails. I think I basically said this almost to the letter. I didn't guess the extra strength, but so this gives you wanton slaughter or whatever. It puts us in the melee doctrine, okay? Which is, so we know wanton slaughter, wanton massacre, or whatever the hell that shit is called, is basically true. So those leaks are almost confirmed now. I'd say we're at a sort of 99% certainty. So this, if the leaks are to be believed, means our pistols, melee weapons, and it's either rapid fire or assault, one of the two, have exploding sixes. This is probably what it's going to be, and obviously that's going to be rounds 3, 4, and 5 typically. This allows us to put it on one core unit in any turn, right? So that's pretty good. If our Warp Talons get a turn 1 charge, we can make them +1 strength, and we can give them basically Death to the False Emperor. So whilst we're losing Death to the False Emperor, we're gaining it on shooting, so we're still going to want to run some heavy weapons in there and stuff, right? But now we can throw our Warp Talons or whatever the hell we want to do, possessed, I don't care. You throw it up there. I think this is real nice on Warp Talons because, typically we're going to want to run Vets a lot of the time anyway. Now we're on the +1 strength, which isn't as good as Vets, but most of the time it's about the same thing. Against Guardsmen and Elves and stuff, it's a debuff, but against your typical Marines and stuff, it's the same thing. So, we're gaining, we're losing, we're coming out about the same, but I think it's ultimately better than keeping Death to the False Emperor and playing Vets, because we'll probably get Vets as a 2 CP anyway. There's a lot of things we don't know yet, but I think it's a good thing, and it does kind of like soft confirm the doctrine type thing for us. So now we can start really thinking about stuff. Last one I want to talk about stratagem-wise is Frenzy. Lots of talk in the Discord. Like fucking thousands of messages on this. It is my opinion that it is better, slightly better, like a 5% buff. The reason being, and there will be argument about this, and I'm sure some people will disagree, right now, you Frenzy, when you deploy the model or the unit, you pay the CP, and then you still get to do it whether if you're going first or second. That's how it is, that's why it's strong for us. Now it's better because you spend it actually before the battle round, so you can deploy very aggressively with your Warp Talons, Possessed, Red Butchers, whatever it is you want to do to come forwards. But if your opponent's terrified and they hide, and then you end up going second, but you can tell that they're not going to get much, you haven't got to spend the CP. Or you can if you still want to leap forward into a piece of terrain in the center. But now you don't have to spend the CP until you really have to. So it is a bit more efficient, which is good in the environment we're going to be in of less CP, right? So I think that is good. There is a lot of discussion, and I kind of in my heart agree, but I won't play like this, that you can pop it multiple times on a single unit, because on this, the third printing of the rule, they still have not added the addendum that is certainly on the Alpha Legion stratagem, which is essentially the same thing, of you can only use this once on a unit, like the unit only benefits from it once. They still haven't added that, and I don't know what. I've emailed them about it. There's been discussions. I mean, technically, the old rule you couldn't, because you spend it when the unit's deployed and you only deploy a unit once. Now, that restriction is actually kind of removed, and it's really annoying because I don't feel the intent is there for you to pop it multiple times, but I don't know, because that's the problem with rules as intended. You don't really know the intent. And this one, on the third try, they still haven't clarified. They've been asked. I would definitely check with TOs on this. I think I've made the comment in Discord or something. I'm sure Goonhammer's going to publish, their opinion on it when they review this stuff, and they'll say, no, you can't. Goonhammer are an excellent resource, very knowledgeable people, 100%. But they are not the law. Okay, GW is the law, and GW is very bad at the law, like everyone that writes laws. Okay, they're really bad at it. But, people like Goonhammer will inform TO decisions. We just have to accept that as fact. No disrespect to them. I would just disagree if that was how they ruled it, unless there's an interaction I'm missing. However, I will not be playing it like that until it's confirmed, basically by GW, or a TO says, no, that's absolutely how, all the TOs in the TO group have said you can definitely do it. If there is a consensus from organisers, I'll be happy. If GW confirms it, I'll be happy. Until then, I'm probably not going to play it, certainly not in friendly games, just because that's incredibly powerful, especially on jump pack units, because you pop it twice on the Warp Talons. Not only have they got an absolutely guaranteed charge, they're leapfrogging over into the backfield. You'd still have to be 9 inches away from enemy units and stuff, but you got 12 inches, you're picking where you're going. It would be abusive, but it would be amazing if we got it. So next, that's the stratagem. I'm going to talk about the relics. A few changes here. Spike Furnace, exactly the same. The Banner of Blood, exactly the same. Helm of Furor, exactly the same. Gorefather, slight change in that it's now a power axe, or like in power, great axe, or some other thing. So it's a slight debuff because now you probably have to pay more in points, because originally a chain axe is 1 point, power axe is 5 points. So there's a bit more of a cost there, but not a big deal. No big deal. You know, a lot of people like Godfather. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I know a lot of people are. It's just one of those personal preference things. Next is Blood Hunger debuff. Originally it was you kill something, every model you kill, you roll a d6 on a 4-up, you get a wound back. Now it's on a 5-up, and I believe it caps at 6. So a bit of a debuff, but no one was really running it anyway. It's kind of a theory hammer build for an unkill or very hard to kill lord, but I don't think we're going there. The final one, which I think is a huge win for us, or a very important win, is the Glaive. It's now +2 strength, -3 AP, and damage 2, and still got the 5-up Feel No Pain, which is massive, because it was +1 and -2. -3 is obviously very important in the current meta, especially with Wild Fury Stratagem still existing for us. Fuck yeah. So +2 strength is also good, especially with like the Red Butchers not being allowed to take on a Terminator Lord. You can still hit that strength 6, which can be pretty critical. And -3, as I said, is very good. Damage 2 is okay. It's not the best damage. It's better than 1. Okay. So yeah, I really like that, because I think, True Berserker, the only warlord trait I'm going to talk about, because everyone's already seen that stuff because it was leaked a couple days ago. Sorry, I'm going to cough and I can't really edit this. Excuse me. So True Berserker is now half all incoming damage, not just melee. So that's actually a really important upgrade, because with the Terminator Lord going up to 7 wounds, which the sort of like box data sheet was leaked a few weeks ago, going up to 7 wounds with 2-up, 4-up, and then a Armor of Contempt. True Berserker halving wounds. That 7 is a nice point, because they throw some 3 damages in there. Those are like 3 damage shots that beat your invuln, right, would be 9 damage, but they're going to be reduced to 2 each because you'll round up, which would be 6 damage. You're still alive on a wound. Plus, I think if you throw the Berserker Glaive on there, you've got the 5-up Feel No Pain. We're getting pretty tanky, and decent damage output, because I'm not sure whether the Lord will be able to take. Presumably, it will have to take the Mark of Kharn, but we don't know that. And Mark of Kharn is +1 strength on the charge, so you're kind of getting a pseudo Red Butcher Lord anyway. You get the +1 strength on the charge. With the thing, you'll be strength 7 with the Berserker Glaive. Yeah, strength 7 at -3 and damage 2. I want to say 6 attacks, maybe it's 5 going to 6. I don't know. I think Red Butcher. So that leads me in. The last little thing I want to talk about before I summarise is obviously the Berserkers and Kharn. Let's talk about Berserkers. A lot of contention here. I like them. I do. I think probably a year ago on one of our live streams we said fight twice or go. That's what I've always expected. This was not based on any kind of rumours or inside information. I just figured it would go. It's cumbersome. It's time consuming. It's very janky, and it just feels like one of those things that GW wants to get away from. And I think ultimately it's healthier for the competitive game to not have it. It's less bookkeeping and less micromanagement, so it's better for us competitively if you look at it in that regard. Yes, like I was talking to Ben Sanson earlier today about this very thing, and I'm sure I've had the same conversation with almost anyone watching this if we've ever talked about it. The movement jank is how we win games, right? It is our absolute strength. Not going to lie, it's more than our damage output. Movement jank is the World Eater's strength, right? We all know that. And losing that is going to hurt. However, at 22 points a model, and then you throw on the 5-point icon with 115 points for 5. I can't remember the numbers, so I apologise, but I think we worked it out as either 31 or 36 attacks, something like that. When you're on the charge, we hit that strength 6 because of the mark. We'll be AP 3 with the icon because we're AP 2, then goes to AP 3, and we kept Wild Fury, so we get that AP 4 on Berserkers. Fuck yeah. Absolute boss. That is fucking mental, and I love it. So we just have this we've now gone from volume of make your opponent roll dice to slightly less volume, assuming you've got both activations, slightly less volume, but the quality is far superior. Hitting that -4 threshold with the 4th point being an option like the third point's an option as well, technically, I guess, but the fourth point being a CP option is really good because against your Marines, running, just a 3-up, you're now taking them to the 6-up if you're at -4 because of armor and contempt, right? If someone's running a 3-up and a 5-up, you don't need the CP, but you need it if they don't, right? So I think that's really powerful, and that extra damage output you're going to get through the AP is more than going to make up for the lack of volume into anything except if you send 5 Berserkers and you tag 3 squads of 30 conscripts. You're not going to kill them all. You're not. But I think you could do enough damage. We still may get a fight twice strat in the Chaos book as well. Hopefully, probably be Mark of Khorne locked, but we may get access to that, which would be then Berserkers are back to, okay, they're a bit more expensive CP wise, but the damage output is huge because obviously Butcher's Nails is now much improved with it being Hateful Assault. So I'm a big fan of the Berserkers, everyone. I really am. I think this is an improvement. It's a bit of a side grade, I understand, but I think overall this will balance out. I honestly believe our meta is going to, at least temporarily, while we experiment, but we're going to be running as many Berserkers as we can. Whether we're running them in Rhinos, or you want to try the Land Raider, or we just stick to the drills, whatever. The party bus meta is coming. It's not going to win anything. Let me clarify this. This is not broken. This is not powerful in a sort of like, B tier to sort of A- tier. I think this pushes to a very top C+ tier, and in the right hands, I think we've got some GT wins here in the right hands. I don't think any meta chasers are going to jump on this. You'll see them on TTS a bit, but the Codex will bring that. Right now, this puts us as a community, as World Eaters players, in a really strong position to really refine the lessons we've been learning for the last few years, right? So let's talk about Kharn. Yeah, this. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope someone's gonna demonstrate how wrong I am. I'm not impressed. Not impressed at all. So 14, right? Keeps fight twice, right? 7 attacks or 6 plus 1 for Hateful Butcher's Nails, and then you fight twice. So still susceptible to the interrupt. Problem is no defensive buff changes. I think he got an extra wound, which whatever. Still a 3-up and a 4-up. Nothing else there. None of the stratagems give us any defensiveness. He has to take Slaughterborn, which is the same. What the actual fuck? What the actual fuck? Yeah, the damage 2, okay, like damage 2 is contentious because damage 2 is fucking awful because of Death Guard, because of dreadnoughts and stuff. I don't think damage 2 is bad, but we're paying for it when we shouldn't. We can fix Kharn right now. He's damage 2 and that can never be reduced. Yep, he's not an auto take still, but I think he then becomes very valuable and optional. As he is right now, we're going to have too many problems. He's going to be very good at clearing chaff, but that's about it. Like, I don't know, I could be wrong, but the problem is he's more expensive than a squad of 5 Berserkers. I think 6 Berserkers is the same price as him, or in that ballpark, right? I think he's 140. And so you're losing a squad of Berserkers who will do more damage. Yes, he can have character protection, but he will kill a model a turn if you're using Berserkers, which I think there is a little bit of cheese we could do there. I mentioned this on the Discord. You got 5 Berserkers, you attack a unit, you have 1 normal Berserker, within half an inch, and then the 4 are sort of in a crescent around behind, half an inch behind. So then you end Kharn's movement, assuming they're, the enemy they attacked is still alive. Kharn moves there in your movement phase and deals a mortal wound to the person who is, to the Berserker who is engaged, kills that one, so you're free to charge again. But it's so niche, and it's a lot of management, but it's a little trick you can remember. Anything that is negative, like that World Eaters tend to get, try and work out ways to make it to your benefit, right? But yeah, overall, I don't think Kharn is great. I don't think he's very good at all. He'll be interrupted and killed because he's just not tanky enough. And he's killing 7 guardsmen. Well, he'll kill 14 guardsmen because you're not going to interrupt with guardsmen until they're stupid good in combat, which could happen. But you go into a dreadnought, you're not going to kill it because you're doing 7 damage. It's definitely interrupting and killing you. there'll be targets like if you could get into intercessors or regular marines, sure, but you've got to get them there. Like we've got violent urgency, which I don't think I'm taking anymore because I don't think I'm taking a warlord trait. Well, obviously once we have to pay for them, assuming that is correct, which I'm sure it is. So yeah, Kharn for me is sadly a thumbs down. The Berserkers are definitely a thumbs up. Stratagems, I think it balances out. We took some minor nerfs, and I think the frenzy buff, assuming I'm correct, which I'm pretty sure I am, is a very good positive. Soak the Nails I'm happy with. It's a shame we lose Death to Force Emperor because it's such a fun mechanic, but you got to think of it also, we are now saving a bit more time and not fishing for sixes and stuff. So, you got to look at the administrative benefits of less dice management, right? So overall, this is, look, let's be honest, this is about as middle fucking ground as this could possibly have been. It is a reprint. It is 95% the same shit. Any of the changes are quite insignificant. The biggest change is to the Berserker Glaive, and it is a good change, and I really like that change, but it is ultimately small. But obviously the Berserker and Kharn datasheet are significant changes, but I don't think they're significant enough in the right direction, certainly for Kharn. Berserkers still feel like they're missing something. I think that will come with a true codex. I think our codex is going to be a completely different story. I have absolute confidence in that because I'll almost guarantee we'll get Angron. They'll rework everything. We'll get new model types, new characters, probably Red Butchers and all the things. So this isn't everything we hoped it would be, but it is something. It is something pretty cool. It puts us another step up, okay? We can now start using more tools. Obviously, we have to really wait to unlock the full power of this with the Chaos Codex, so we can use the Let the Galaxy Burn doctrine crap and what other data sheets we're going to be able to use. There doesn't seem like anything from our stratagems that's specifically going to help. These will obviously power up Possessed. Great. If we can still take Warp Talons in squads of 10, and if Warp Talons are still essentially the same, re-rolling wounds and everything else, they'll cost more points, absolutely. But if they just go to 2 wounds and have the additional, I think 5 attacks base is what was leaked, I think that's still our play. Points, depending. We're going to be keeping a lot of our lists fairly similar, I think. I just can't see Mauler Fiends, Forge Fiends, Hellbrutes becoming any better. Obviously they are better because of the Death Guard and T-Sons codexes, but those aren't being used. You're not seeing them being taken, and those people, those armies having access to psychic powers and all the multiple cults and plague companies and stuff, they can do things with them that we're not going to be able to. That being said, we don't know the full rules that Chaos Codex is going to give us. That may change. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think our list archetypes are going to change all that much. We got to see where the points sit, right? We might get some major Forge World changes to points. Like, what if Leviathans dropped 20 points? I know Darren and I were talking about that. If they dropped like 40 points, 50 points, something like that, they'd be crazy good, even with the CP, problems we're going to be having soon. We don't know. I don't see Leviathans dropping that much, but what if Drills dropped? What if Drills dropped to 150? We talked about that as well. 150 points, I think we're running 5 Drills, motherfuckers. I think that would be it. Like, just for the absolute memeage of it. Let's get fucking Forge World sold the shit out again. But this is all speculation. We don't know. Everything else, short of what leaked and dropped today, we don't know. So look, I'm going to wrap it up there because it is, 10 o'clock, 10:30 or something. I want to try and get this uploaded, and I need to get some sleep, get a good night's sleep for day 2. I need one more win. I'd like 2 more, but I definitely want one more win. But yeah, so all right, thanks everyone, and I'm hoping, this isn't a promise, but this is a hope. I talked to Mark earlier, and I want to get Mark, Ben, and Ron, the other 3 World Eaters players here, and see if we can have a quick chat tomorrow and record it, and just, I don't know what we're going to talk about. Maybe we'll talk about how one of us won the fucking event or something. I don't know. Or we'll talk about this, the rules and stuff. Just want to have a little World Eater chat with them, and hopefully get that uploaded. That might not go up until I get back home, because the hotel Wi-Fi is pretty shit here. Okay, I'm going to cut it off there. So yeah, apologies for the rough cut of this. Probably no thumbnail, no intro, no outro, none of that shit. Is what it is. All right. So I hope everyone's having a good time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend or whatever the hell it is, wherever you are. Okay. Until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and kill main bird.